What up, YouTube? This is Reezonotix back once again, and I'm doing a video just to let you know the newest additions to my retro console and game collections. Now, as you know, I got a Sega Saturn last week, so I added that to the console list. Um, but I added a bunch of games this weekend to my retro collection for the Dreamcast, the 64, the Saturn, and the Genesis. Um, my mother-in-law said she wanted to buy us our Christmas presents early, so she gave me and my wife the money. She gave us $50 each, and I said, damn, for $50, I could do a world of stuff at Play and Trade, man. So, what I'm saying, I went to Play and Trade and I got $50 worth of retro games. I mean, that sound like a lot, but it's 10 games, okay? So, let me just go through them, show you the newest editions. But before I get into what I got at Play and Trade, I'm gonna show you some of the stuff one of my brothers donated to me for the Dreamcast. Since he doesn't use his anymore, he donated me the system, so I got two Dreamcasts. I put away mine because mine was acting a little funny. His is in perfect condition, so I got his console, and then he donated to me his standard controller, so that gives me two Dreamcast controllers. Now he also donated this third-party controller, which is a see-through black. As you can tell, you see the circuitry in there. Wonderful controller, good feel too, man. It's nice and fits perfectly in the hands. The triggers are a little tight, but that's three controllers that I have now, so I could play multiplayer a lot on the Dreamcast. And he also donated me this last game that he had left over that I've never played before, which is Ultimate Fight Championship (UFC). You know what I'm saying? So I got that for free. My brother donated to me, and I thank him for it. But as far as for what I got at Play and Trade for $50, let's just go down the list. First of all, I love this game. When I was young, when I was legit basically, and he had a Sega Genesis Model 2, I had rented this, I believe, or saw one of my friends play it, and then I never got to buy it, and then I never saw it again. And it was one of my favorite shows when I was a young boy. So the game is just something I really wanted, and I walked into Play and Trade yesterday, and on one of the consoles they had a Sega Genesis set up, and they had this game showing, and I was like, "Yo, open the console, I want that. Like, put that aside for me. I'm buying that today." And it's Disney's Gargoyles on the Sega Genesis. Come on, man, be real. Especially back when you were a kid, who didn't want to be Goliath, ripping apart building walls and climbing buildings and flying and beating the hell out of anything that got in your way? Man, this was the new Ninja Turtles, man. Ninja Turtles and then Gargoyles, man. So, love it, got it. Then I said, yo, let me see your Sega Saturn games, man. So they brought out their collection of Saturn games, and I saw this one, and I never played it back in the day. Of course, I never owned a Saturn back in the day, but I remember my old GamePro magazines. They gave this game a good score, so I was like, you know what? Let me get it, man. It's a movie license game. Those usually suck, but if it got a good score, it must mean that it's worth it. And that is Independence Day on the Sega Saturn. It's a vehicle-based shooter, combat shooter. It's also got multiplayer, so can't wait to try this later on today. So that's Gargoyles on the Genesis, Independence Day on the Sega Saturn. Then on the N64, they brought out their bin of N64 games, and I got two classics, man. One of them is a hysterically funny first-person, quote-unquote shooter that we used to play back in the day with multiplayer as addicting and as fun as GoldenEye. All right, and that is South Park. All right, this was hysterical. We actually played a lot of this last night when I brought it home. Me and some brothers, man, we sat around, we played this, and just lost it laughing. South Park. Other game on the N64 is a title I had never played. I never played this N64 game, but I played the original back in the NES days, and they just made a WiiWare title of the same franchise. So without further ado, Excite Bike 64. So I'm gonna try this later on today also. That's it for 64. Then I got a whole stack of Dreamcast games, man. They had like, no lie, like 120 Dreamcast games to pick from. So I'm gonna just go down what I got, one by one. This one didn't have a real case, but it has a sleeve. It's NBA 2K2. Yes, this is the one that has Michael Jordan as part of the Wizards, so you can play as Jordan. Just a great NBA title. I played it yesterday. Yeah, it's not NBA 2K10. It's not today's games, because today's games have improvements, but it is still pretty damn good for this was made 2K2, so this was made in 2001, because they're made the year before, right before the year turns, and it's just great, man. The play is great. I really enjoyed it. Then I got this game I had never heard of, but I like flight simulators, and I like games where you're in planes and air combat and all that. So I saw this Air Force Delta, and I picked it up and I played it today, just about an hour or so ago. And I got to tell you, I was blown away by the graphical power that the Dreamcast was able to put out in 1999. Bro, in this game, when you're flying in the first-person view from the cockpit of your jet, and you got the HUD, the heads-up display, and you can see all the mountains, the buildings of the cities, and you can go different altitudes, and it doesn't drop in frame rate or nothing. It's amazing, man. It's very good title, man. I loved it. I enjoyed it, as a matter of fact. And I was a big fan of this franchise. I have both the first two titles on the N64, and you could tell if you look at my N64 collection video. Well, I got the third installment, San Francisco Rush 2049, the futuristic version. It's for, it's a fun arcade racer, man. It's kind of extreme, but it's good. Got that. Then I got one of the classics for the Dreamcast. The Sega Sports and Sega Sports Arcade brand make the best sports I've ever played, and that is Virtual Tennis. Super fun. If you had a Dreamcast back in the day and you had this title, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't and never played it, you missed out. Then I got a classic. I had this on the PlayStation 1 when I was younger, and then it came out on the Dreamcast, and I never got to play it on the Dreamcast. So I saw this yesterday there, and without a doubt, especially being a big Star Wars fan, Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. Good beat 'em up side scroller with 3D elements where you get to pick any one of your Jedi's: Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, Mace Windu, Plo Koon. Who else? I'm missing somebody. And then there's this chick Jedi. There's like 5 or 6 Jedi's you can pick from, and you can even do multiplayer co-op. And it's just great, man. It's a great action title. You got force powers, you got the lightsabers, and you basically play through episode 1 through the perspective of this game. So it's very great. Love it. And then the last title I picked up was Rippin' Riders, which is a snowboarding title for the Dreamcast. I just picked it up because I like, extreme sports as far as playing the games. I love that. That's why I got SSX Blur on the Wii, and I loved Shaun White's snowboarding on the Wii, and the SSX Tricky games. So I saw this, I was like, you know what, this looks like this looks like it's Sega's franchise when it comes to that. So let me pick it up, and I played a few races earlier today. It's kind of hard to control, but it does come with the instruction booklet, so I'll look at it and get the hang of it. But it was very fun. So there you have it, man. All that for under $50 at Play and Trade. Okay, under $50. All right. I mean, I just don't know what else to say, man. I've been blessed, man. Once again, let me just go through it once again. Gargoyles in the Genesis, South Park N64, Excite Bike N64, Independence Day Sega Saturn, Rippin' Riders Dreamcast, Star Wars Jedi Power Battles Dreamcast, Virtual Tennis Dreamcast, San Francisco Rush 2049 Dreamcast, Air Force Delta Dreamcast, and NBA 2K10 Dreamcast. 2K2, I'm sorry, 2K2, NBA 2K2. All that for $50, dog. I just can't say enough about it, man. I'm super happy. I mean, I had like 7 or 8 Dreamcast games before, but after this weekend, my collection has exploded by 6 new titles. I mean, and I didn't even spend. I spend the same price that most of y'all out there spend to get a brand new game for the Wii or the PS3 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's just amazing. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoy seeing what I got. If you saw any of the games here, again, like I always say, if you saw any of the games here in these videos that you want me to do reviews on, or upload a little bit of gameplay footage, or whatever you want to just talk about them, leave me some comments, hit me up. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. God bless y'all. Stay gaming, and please, if you haven't found one, find a Play and Trade in your area, man. I'm telling you, GameStop is garbage. Hopefully soon GameStop will be over, because these people with deals like this be putting them out of business. Alright, God bless y'all. Later.